Seekers come together, searching for the way, guided by the Spirit shining every day. Voices call from Zion, beckoning the pure, gathering the faithful where the truth is sure. Follow the Spirit, follow the light, follow the truth. Don't lose your way, don't lose your way. Follow the Spirit, follow the light, follow the light, follow the truth. It shines today.
Well, welcome into day 15, chapter 15 of Isaiah. I am here with David Douglas, and that's right, it's a Friday. Do you know what? Do you want to know why I know it's Friday? That's right, because my companion is in his missionary attire. He serves in the temple on Fridays, at least for now, until he gets him a job, and then he'll have to figure out how he's going to serve on another day in the temple. But for right now, he's able to serve in the temple. David, how are we doing today?
I'm
You're on
great. I'm
mute.
fantastic.
There we go.
I'm
Okay,
fantastic.
cool. Well, let's jump in. It's my turn to read. We've got 9 verses today, so it's going to be a brief companionship study. Chapter 15, verse 1. The burden of Moab, because in the night of Ar of Moab is laid waste and brought to silence, because in the night Ker or of Moab is laid to waste and brought to silence. Clearly, Moab is laid to waste. That's what we learned there. Don't know what Moab is or what Moab means exactly. Maybe somebody in the comments can look up Moab. That's kind of like what I like to do when I'm studying is just look, okay, what is Moab? What does it mean? And no, we're not talking about Moab, Utah. We're talking about Moab somewhere over there in the Middle East. He is gone up to Ba'ith and to Dibon, the high places, to weep. We know high places represent temples. So he's gone to the temple because he's sad. Moab shall howl over Nebo and Medeba over Medeba. On all their heads shall be baldness and every beard cut off. Okay. This is an interesting thing. Hair seems to be important because they are talking about their heads being bald and their beards getting cut off. And hair, we know, is symbolic of what, David? Do you know?
I've seen it symbolic of power in a couple different examples.
It is symbolic of power. And we have some, Samson, his hair was supposed to be grown. I have yet to see a bald Jesus. In fact, I've yet to see a clean-shaven Jesus. I see a Jesus with a full beard and some beautiful locks of hair. So there's something going on with hair. Hair seems to be important. I think, I'm not sure about this. You'd have to Google this. But you know how Jews wear a yarmulke?
Yeah.
Do you know what it's covering most of the time?
The bald spot.
Their bald spot.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why they're wearing that, and it's covering up their bald spot. So I have a whole theory on baldness. I'm not going to get into that because it will distract from the book of Isaiah. That's for another time. Okay. Verse 3. In their streets they shall gird themselves with sackcloth on the tops of their houses, and in their streets everyone shall howl, weeping abundantly. And Heshbon shall cry, and Elath their voice shall be heard, even unto Jahaz. Therefore the armed soldiers of Moab shall cry out, his life shall be grievous unto him. My heart shall cry out for Moab. His fugitives shall flee unto Zoar and heifer of 3 years old. Oh, there's the red heifer of 3 years old being brought up. For by the mounting up of Luith, the with weeping shall they go it up. For in the way, Horniamum, they shall raise up and cry of destruction. What the heck is going on? It's no wonder that people have a hard time with Isaiah, because I don't know what he's even talking about. And you know what? Neither did Nephi. Do you want to know how I know that?
How?
Because he didn't include this chapter. Up until this point, he's included every chapter. He got to this one. He says, I don't know what Isaiah was smoking or what mushrooms he just ate, but I don't know what he's talking about here. So we'll read it just to read it. Verse 6, for the waters of Nimrim shall be desolate, and the hay is withered away, and grass faileth. There is no green thing. Therefore, the abundance they have gotten, and that which they have laid up, shall they carry away to the brook of the willows. For the cry is gone round about the borders of Moab, and howling thereof unto Elgleam, and the howling thereof unto Beer Elim. For the waters of Dimon shall be full of blood, for I will bring more upon Dimon, lions upon him that escapeth of Moab, and upon the remnant of the land. Okay, well, we didn't learn much there, but here is the point. The point is, even when we don't understand something, yet we read it, what we have to understand is our subconscious picked up something. Don't know what it is. And I'm not going to get hung up on chapter 15 of Isaiah because I don't understand it. And that's okay. Sometimes we will read things that we just won't understand. And right now, maybe it's not time to understand this. And maybe it made perfect sense to Isaiah. But could you imagine if we were writing down our day talking about cell phones, talking about electric cars and airplanes, and we were writing about that experience, and Isaiah was living in his day and he read what we were talking about? Do you think he'd even understand if we said the word cell phone, what that means?
No, absolutely not.
He wouldn't.
Yeah, new language to him.
Yeah, there are certain things that he's talking about here that, because we don't know what was going on in his day, which was, I don't know, 2,600 years ago or however long, 2,700 years ago, we just don't know. And that's okay. So, but the most important thing is that we read it, we went through it. And maybe there's something that's going to pop up, and maybe you in the comments, maybe you're way smarter than David and I, and this makes perfect sense to you. And you can break it down for us in the comments. I would love that. I can't wait to post these companionship studies and see what people say in the comments.
Well, if I, were to go ahead and make a comment, this is what I would say is that it's clear that there's another destruction going on. And I think that this, even though they're not saying in that day, this still can be a symbol of what could or will happen in the last days when destruction does occur.
Yeah. And clearly something happened to this place, Moab, or is going to happen to Moab. And there's something that's going to happen to that place, Moab. So
maybe it is Utah, Moab, Utah.
I don't think so. But let's hope not. Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in. That concludes day 15 of our companionship study, chapter 15 of Isaiah. I'm really excited. We're going to get into some really good stuff. Starting in these next few chapters are, I think, some of the harder chapters. But when we get to 18, we get into some really good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. For myself, I'm Shane Baldwin. For my companion, David, the Leo Douglas. And if you haven't checked us out, hey, we've got a podcast. It's called the Key of David Podcast. Go check us out. We have some great interviews over there, interviewing some really interesting people. And yeah, go check it out. Give it a watch. Have a good day.
Oh, go. I got something. We need to start announcing our next 100 days, our contest that we're doing.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we are rolling out something fun to get our community involved, and we are going to be giving away $1,000 American, clarify, $1,000 cash to the Zion Media fan subscriber that recommends the best guest, you know, like a future Lance, a future Alex Boyer. We're looking for somebody that is, you know, faith-based, or they could be a sports figure, politics, culture, anyone that you guys think, I want that person on Zion Media. Or if you're watching this yourself and you're being like, I want to be on Zion Media, you could win yourself $1,000. What we're going to do is, over the next 100 days, we are going to open up our link tree, and there's going to be a Google form if you go in there, and it's going to be a place where you can click on it. You can go in there and fill out your information. You can fill out information on who the guest is, why you think they would be a great guest for Zion Media. And then we want you to either take out your phone and record yourself and give us a little explanation of why this person would be perfect for Zion Media as a guest, or do an audio. That we don't need a video, but we just want to hear it more. You know, it's a lot easier to perceive what your intention is versus just clickety-clicking on that. So how it's going to work is we're going to filter those in. We're going to go through them, scrub them, the ones that we like. We're going to reach out, contact, do a little pre-interview, see if they're podcast worthy, and then we're going to platform them. We're going to put them on the show. And as we put these on, once we get 2 or 3 people on, we're going to open our socials up for voting, where you as the fans are going to help us determine who is the best guest. Over the course of the 100 days, whoever is voted in as the best guest, it's kind of a 50-50 criteria. We believe it. And then the votes will determine who the winner is for the $1,000. And 100 days from now, before December 21st, we're going to get that $1,000 out. Someone will have some Christmas spending cash or some personal cash. So
Trevor, quick question. If I recommend, you guys should have Sylvester Stallone on your program, they need to introduce us to Sylvester Stallone. So
you got to be able to
recommend somebody, and then it's like, not only do you recommend either yourself or somebody else, you got to bring them to the table.
Yep, you got to be the connector in chief.
If they know Tucker Carlson, or someone big, or like Elon Musk, they'd have to give us their number. Right?
Well, not only just give us their number, we don't want to call and be like, hey, David gave me your number. They need to make the connection. They need to help platform them.
Put us on a text thread. Put us on an email thread. You've got to be the connector in order to qualify.
Exactly.